And hello, Dr. Tomshack here with special guest, Dr. Bob McIntosh from HealthSource of Rapid City. So, Dr. Bob, welcome.
Well, thanks.
All right. So, I got some questions for you.
Okay.
I got some good questions. So, but before we dive into those questions, tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, you're in Rapid City for a reason. Why did you choose Rapid City?
I didn't originally. I just had an area of this part where I'm from where I was going to plant multiple clinics. And so I started that. And then one of them was Rapid City just because it was a bigger town and had a lot more population. To go back and I guess answer the first knee-jerk answer to the question, it's close to family.
Okay, well, that's helpful.
Yeah,
but it's not the first clinic, and nor is it the first health source.
No.
Can you expand on that a bit?
This is clinic number 3. And as far as like full-time clinics, and I had my wild ideas, and this is my 6th total clinic overall because I had satellites before, and I was running around between clinics, and I got a partner, and I'm like, hey, you need to cover when I'm not at this one, and I was traveling 3 days one week, and then 2 days the next, but then working 3 days a week in my main office in Spearfish, and that's where I first started my clinics. But it was my second health source. So I started Gillette first in Wyoming. So I crossed state line, added more complexity. And then it went and started the health source, or the Spearfish office. And then we had a 3rd location that we ended up closing because we just needed to focus where we felt we could be more efficient.
Totally.
So I know it came from coaching, honestly.
So that's obviously an excellent opportunity for growth. We learn from those types of opportunities. So let's backtrack to the first one.
Yep. July.
Question is when you're looking back now with a level of wisdom that you didn't have at that time, as we all do, moving, as we continue to grow, what were the biggest mistakes you made with your very first clinic? Health source, non-health source makes no difference to me.
Without a doubt, hands down, growing to another location before I understood how to make a clinic way more profitable. I would say I didn't push hard enough to make my system standardized. And I just didn't, I felt more busy was more productivity. That was my biggest mess up. And I just spread myself too thin.
And that was pre-health source?
That was pre-health source. And then we started to kind of trim the wandering branches.
Yes.
Once I got into health source, and then we started converting the offices and, learning in that process as far as how to not just take employees that are like, yeah, let's do this, but also the ones that are like, oh God, what the hell is coming down the pipe? And because there's always that fear, and sometimes people don't make it, they don't make that boat, and sometimes they do. And but the ones that were wanting to do it even made their lives more simple. And so it made my life more simple, but it made me stop and focus more.
Speaking of that, thank you for that, being honest too. Speaking of that last line you said, and focus more, and I bring that up because here in the last 12 months have been just a stratospheric rise for you. Stratospheric. To what do you attribute that to?
Focus.
All right.
I'm down to owning, I have a partner in this office, and I own half of the office. I share responsibilities in the office with them, and because it's hard to do everything yourself without somebody supporting you and just being there with you, getting your message across to even employees. And so that's the focus part was just in my life in general. I mean, I felt I had to be doing every single event and every single thing that's out there, and I ran myself crazy. I would say I've gotten more focused on what type of events I'm doing, what kind of and I plan my marketing better. There can always be more marketing, right? But the planning side of me has gotten much better.
Good. Very good. That's business growth, right? Leadership growth.
That's right.
All right. So looking back at this, especially, well, your whole trajectory, but I'm really like keying in on this last 12 months because the growth you've had is just simply amazing by anybody's standards. How has HealthSource assisted with that?
Training new doctors. Just continued training in team members for sure. Through the pandemic, there was tons of support and guidance for all the grants and everything that was coming out. And you just had somebody to rely on in those odd, even you felt like terrible things are happening, even though nothing was really happening for us. People were alongside of us and we were all going through it together, and we had shoulders to lean on. That was a big deal. That gave us more confidence. And then we've added decompression into our office. And it took me, I want to say 6 months before I ordered my second table. And it's really making sure in this last year that we've been holding our patients accountable to their progress, and that we all as doctors and our staff members understand that's the important part, is accountability, not just on us, but making sure our patients know exactly what they're accountable for beginning to end of care when they look forward to their progress exam, when they know that they're headed towards this goal of improved range of motion or their key value and improving a certain area. Accountability is probably the most important thing. And marketing has been great. It's not just on my shoulders. There's more people on the team to do marketing. That's been good as well. It made it for a lot of the times we weren't able to go out and do events, and so our dollars spent on advertising as a group made an impact in our office. Good.
That helps spur some of the growth that you guys had. Go ahead.
One more thing, I think it's really important in our offices that we have our maintenance patients, that you have a base of that creates reoccurring revenue. You have your middle kind of price ticket patients, and then you have a higher end price ticket for patients. So you have the ability to fix bigger problems, or you have the ability to just fix the little or continue to maintain the problems. I think in my mind that it's important to be able to span that, those realms as well. And it definitely helped in revenue for us.
Outstanding. Very comprehensive. I love that. So you converted a number of practices over to HealthSource, right? What would you tell a doctor who's already, they've built their bricks and mortar business, their practice is up and running, and they're thinking it's not where they like it, so they're looking for a comprehensive plan, which is obviously what we have. What would you tell somebody? They're scared, and who wouldn't be? It's a sizable decision. What do you tell somebody like that? Why should I convert this practice to HealthSource?
It truly comes down to their goal. We can all go out and build a practice, and we can make good things happen with them. It doesn't matter, and I'll say this as an owner, but also as a partner. My partner can leave on vacation without a dip in the practice. That's a big deal.
That's right.
I can leave on vacation. I am able to go home with my daughter today. She's sick today, and so I was able to go home with her, where in the past my wife was stuck with that sole responsibility 100% of the time. And I said, no, I can't. I'm stuck in this. And that, to me, the ability to be able to take time away Take time for your family because we deserve it.
That's right.
We have worked hard to build our clinics to where they're at. And I think it's also important to be able to take the time you need to be able to give back to your family. We work for an identity in the beginning, and then eventually we realize our identity really is our family, and that's why we do all this hard work. And that's truly the thing that has come out of this third office. I've gotten better every time. And you know what I mean? Like, and there's hard times in every one of them. I could go back to it. But I can tell you, third time is, I'm going to call it the charm, right? But it's definitely been the best for me, my best partner. I've gotten better at being able to know the people I'm working with, but also know myself. Like, what am I capable of? What am I willing to give up to head towards a certain goal? What am I've learned to respect myself, but also stick up for myself and my family more. So
Right on.
That's it.
That sounds beautiful. If we were to ask you the same question, so now, Dr. Bob, we're talking about somebody who just graduated, or maybe they've been out a few years, or maybe they've been out for 10 years, they've been working for somebody else. What do you tell them about, is there a difference in the answer of should I work with HealthSource to launch a brand new practice? What do you tell somebody with that thought process and with that question?
To launch, just straight ground up, launch a clinic.
Never owned one before.
Oh man, it's hard starting your own. And don't let anybody tell you not to start your own. But if you want guidance through the process, and if you want someone to so you're not feeling lonely in it and give you years of advance, I would tell you to go and use the systems within HealthSource to be able to start the clinic. Like, give you an example. So my partner, and he was able to graduate in November, December, and buy into my office. And within 12 months, he's making $100,000 a year. That's an existing practice. But to answer your question more specific on startup, it was, I would say, 3.5 years before I gave myself a small paycheck starting my own practice.
Wow.
HealthSource, if I think back, my revenue numbers were like $14,000 or $17,000. I doubled that within the first 6 to 12 months of joining HealthSource. But it gave me more independence and different ways to look at things, different ways to manage. So if you're just talking revenue, it definitely helps. If you're talking guidance, there's a family. Like, I showed up to a meeting this last weekend, and we were all at, and I was able to go and talk and share struggles. I was able to talk about what our plans are and develop more plans, or even help the people that are brand new, help them make their next steps and what they need to do to move forward. You don't have to do it alone. That's what HealthSource is for.
All right. And that meeting you're talking about is a meeting filled with HealthSource doctors, yes?
Yeah, it was there 27, I think, 27 doctors or clinics there.
34.
And it feels like a family. That's like my response after coming back. I felt loved. I told my wife this weekend, like, I felt welcomed there. So
right on. That's the goal. All right. Listen, your time is valuable. I just want to say thank you, Dr. Bob, for taking the time out of your day, for sharing some wisdom with us, sharing some of your experience, sharing your journey. So have an awesome day. And again, thank you so very, very much. Greatly appreciate it.
You got it. See you guys.
Yeah.